Hello, today I'm going to be describing the 5 most essential things for any trans girl that's out there. So, number 5 is something that you really need if you're still coming to grips with your gender identity, but you've made it over that hump of self-actualization, and now you're finally ready to tell someone that you're either trans or that you're proud of your new gender identity. And of course, those are trans flag socks, because really, how can you have any type of legitimate gender expression if you don't very visibly wear the identity category that you belong to on your physical body in the form of thigh-high socks? Obviously super essential. Number 4 is going to be catgirl ears. Of course, we all know that every trans girl's dream is to be a nya-uwu cat girl that loves head pats and loves scritches. Combine that with trans socks and you have a guaranteed recipe for getting an assload of upvotes on your Reddit shitpost about how you're finally a cat girl. Now, an important thing to note is that not all cat girls are furries, but there is an interesting statistical correlation of being trans and being a furry, so I don't know, take that as you will. But yeah, cat ears. Number 4. The number 3 most essential item for trans girls might be a bit of a vague or obscure thing, so maybe you haven't heard of it before, but I know some of you out there have definitely heard of it, and it's going to be pickles. Now you might be wondering, what the hell do pickles have to do with being transgender? So on one hand, when you start HRT, you start having these massive cravings for salt, some brine, and of course dick, and I think pickles fit all 3 of those categories. Not only are they salty, but they're also in their own pickle juice, and of course they look like a phallus. So I think that no trans girls want to get caught out in the streets lacking without a jar of their baby hole pickle. You know, when I go to my surgeon for bottom surgery, and they ask me, how is my bottom dysphoria, what I really tell them is that that's one crunchy pickle. And finally, the last 2 things that I think are really essential to, living authentically as a trans person. I can't really decide between which one's number 2 and which one's number 1, so I think I'll just have to introduce both of them together at the same time, and that's going to be the Communist Manifesto and a ski mask. You might be wondering, why is a ski mask in the Communist Manifesto in my top 2 list of most essential items for trans girls? Well, I have a couple of reasons. One is that all of the popular trans girls are doing it on Twitter. They all are communists, and basically it's almost necessary. We don't like tree scum here in our trans girl community, where we say that hormonal transition is necessary. However, anybody who wants to really identify authentically as a trans girl has to have a copy of the Communist Manifesto. And as for the ski mask, it is fundamentally, I think, our existence is a crime in like 75% of the countries that exist on this planet. And so if it's a crime to just be us, you might as well protect yourself and protect your identity. And it really helps live up to the motto that I think all trans girls strive to live by, which is, as the kids on the block say, be gay, do crimes. So thank you for joining me in a quick discussion on the 5 most essential items for any trans girl. Treat it as a trans girl starter pack. So join us next week where we talk about 10 tips to stop yourself from crying and receding into a dark hole in your psyche whenever you try to come out to your parents and they tell you that it's just a phase, or why can't you transition privately but do nothing about it publicly. All right, thanks everyone. Have a great day.